Happy Monday, everyone, here at the Coherence Meditation Gym. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, come and join the gym. Meditate with us. We meditate at least 4 times a month, and we get together. It is Dr. Jo's meditations that we synchronize in meditation with. But here at the gym, you can also find other resources to support your practice. Get going in the practice, get deeper in the practice, and there are so many other things that you can learn and that you can build community, get into challenges. So I want to talk to you about several things today. Usually on Mondays, I give the announcements of what to expect this week or upcoming. We are restarting the series of the Blessing of Energy Centers this Saturday. But before I talk to you about the schedule, I want to celebrate big time. Dr. Jo and the research team just on November the 6th, so only 4 days ago. Today is November 10th. So 4 days ago, there was a research paper. I just printed it out. I'm going to put the link below. You can also go to Dr. Jo's website or his Instagram and download the article that was published in Communications Biology. And it's the cutting edge, leading edge research, the latest and the greatest, which is very exciting, especially for us that are in this practice, or if you're new to the practice, or if you're seasoned in the practice. You know, the mind still wants to understand how things work. Science is what backs all this up, and it's the new discoveries of what is possible. And we know in this work that we're really there's this leading edge of what has been discovered, what is being discovered, what we're capable of, and when there are articles that are published, it just helps back up the practice and gets us excited about going deeper into what is possible for ourselves and for healing and for manifesting things. But this is into what the body's actually doing and producing and the effects. So look into that. My intention is that I just literally printed it out. I want to go look through it. You know, getting an article published. I know how intense it can be, and the reason why I know this is because my dad is he's now a retired professor. He's a veterinarian, and he helped develop the PhD and master's program of the veterinarian side in the University of Baja California. So his whole life was dedicated to research, and I think that's part of where I get the love and the appreciation for understanding things at a scientific level. But to get published is definitely a big deal and very challenging. It involves doing all the rigorous research, writing everything up in a formal, clear way, and then going through a process called peer review. That means that other experts have to read it, have to give feedback, and sometimes ask for revisions before it actually can be accepted. So this accomplishment from Dr. Jo and the research team is definitely something that has taken so much dedication. And we know, if we've been following him for a while, just the pushback from the scientific community as well, or from other, communities where it's like, what is happening, So this is really something worth celebrating and worth talking about. And that's why I wanted to bring it up and wanted to encourage you to print it out. I like to have things printed, even though I'm looking at it and oh my God, there's a lot of technical things that I know I won't be able to fully understand, but I can get the gist of what this is about. And next week in my live, I'll go into a little bit more of the gist of this research paper, just because for my work as well, as a coach, and getting people into a practice, depending on the level of understanding, to have something that validates, that really gives, you know, that support to what we're doing is very helpful. It's very encouraging. It's very, especially, you know, if people are resistant to this work and have thought that it's like, what is that going to do? You know, like, and I get a lot of that too. It's like, really? Meditating is going to heal me? You know, and so now we know that it is what is possible. So again, you know, next week I'll just do a little more deeper into what the paper has found. Yeah, just get excited. But I encourage you to print it out, to take a look at it, and to talk about it, because I think that the more we help others create this consciousness about the how we can create a change in our own bodies by thought alone and by practice. So yeah, that's really exciting. But just to, like, at a glance real quick, you know, the one thing that I'll just plant the seed to talk a little bit more, and for you to look into what this paper talks about, is that the changes in the area of the brain called the default mode network, which is the brain's predictor. This is the part of the brain that consumes enormous amount of energy. And this is, I mean, just look at for yourself, all the energy that goes into thinking about the past or trying to predict the future. Like, that takes so much energy. So in what this research paper shows is that dramatic change in the area of the brain called the default mode network, which is that brain, the predictor, and discovered that people are not able to turn it down when they're in meditation with eyes open. So in other words, the critic in the mind, the part of the brain that's always trying to predict the future or based on the past, completely shuts off, and it allows a person to be more present. So that's a big deal. You know, we can do this we're doing this in the practice of meditation. What this tells me, and it's very exciting for the work that I do with integrating the heart math system into our day-to-day lives, is that we're able to be in the present moment. We're able to shift ourselves into the present moment quicker, faster, easier, and not waste all that energy that gets wasted in worry, in anxiety, in overwhelm, in withdrawal. Like, all that still takes energy. But instead, if you can utilize that energy to be present, where all your energy truly is creating your life, and then we're directing it to the life that we want. How exciting is that? All right. Okay. So I just, that's that part. And now, so we have coming up, like I mentioned at the beginning, we are starting the Blessing of Energy Center series this Saturday, which is November the 15th. And so if you have wanted to start the series from the beginning, because one builds upon the other, we go Blessing of Energy Centers 1 through 11. So we meet every other weekend, every other Saturday. Look at the calendar. The best way to find out about our events is to go to the events page and look at the calendar, and you can find the calendar for November. We also have the time-space meditation on Wednesdays. So we also meet every other Wednesday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is a really exciting one, space-time. Hopefully you also found out. If not, here I'm sharing with you. We read the Becoming Supernatural. That's the one book that we're on right now in our community. And we've got chapter 11, which, guess which one it is? Space, time, time, space. It's a fascinating chapter. It's a little lengthier, so hopefully if you're seeing this right now, you have time to still read on the chapter. And we come together on the 22nd of November and discuss it at noon Pacific Standard Time. If you're here in the Portland Metro, Lake Oswego area, come to Mi Casa es Tu Casa. That's we get together with our community. It's a great excuse to come together with others and talk about what we all like to geek out about, which is becoming supernatural, these practices, all the crazy things that our family probably doesn't want to hear or like thinks we're crazy. I hope that you have a community of people that you can come together and talk to things like this about. So that's on the 22nd. We're discussing chapter 11. And then I have a new small group coming up January 22nd, actually. So it's going to be on Thursdays at noon. And we're learning the heart math system. So what I was telling you about being in the present moment and not draining energy, the Building Personal Resilience program is a heart math program that I am licensed to teach. I can teach it in small groups. And we learn how to stay coherent after we've done our meditation. They're easy, practical tools to implement on the go, eyes open, so we can stay in that present moment, so we can be the creators that we are, that we know we are, and not be wasting our energy thinking about the past or predicting the future. That's such a key part of living a beautiful life, creating the life that you desire. A lot of the things that we trip out about, like that we, that create resistance or create dis-ease, is being in stress mode, living on the hormones of stress and thinking that that's normal. It's not normal. And so creating a new baseline is so important to creating a beautiful life. And we probably can't tell until, a lot of times, like I manifested an illness, or I manifested, or I'm suffering a loss of a change of life, a divorce, the loss of a loved one. That's usually times where we're shaken up and woken up and we're like, something has to change. I don't like the state that I'm constantly in. So when we learn to train our body into a baseline where anything that happens is we can accept as part of our life, and we can navigate change and loss, and then get creative about the life that we're desiring. That's really being in our optimal state, and I truly believe that being in our optimal state is that's what's natural, that's what's normal, that's what we can accustom our body to, just how much better life can get, the joy of life. We don't need to be aging ourselves. We can create more energy, more vitality, more beautiful moments in this life when we learn to self-regulate, and when we learn to navigate and surf the waves of life. So that's what I love to do. That's what I teach. It complements this work that we do. As you can see, I just love learning. I love teaching. I love guiding people through to your optimal state and to creating beautiful lives. So the Building Personal Resilience program here, I've got this is what it looks like. That's starting on January 22nd, a small group. So it's online. We meet once a week for 6 weeks. Just completed one group already 2 weeks ago, and I miss us so much. And then the last thing is so because of the training that I do with so many people, and I know that we're all different, but the one recurring thing is like, how can I keep myself in my mind from thinking about, like, what I think about is having so many tricks up our sleeve. And if you listen to Abraham Hicks, that will be familiar to you. Having so many tricks up our sleeve that nearly every time, no matter what, we can get ourselves back on track. So, inspired by one of my clients that I've been meeting with regularly, and I was like, okay, let's do this. So this will be our third challenge of the year. We've done several challenges. I've recorded 44 meditations for you. And now, challenges, 21 day, and those are my favorite because they get us in a momentum. They get us in focus, easy. They're easy, like little small, micro commitments for 21 days. Have got us into momentum. So I'm doing our last challenge of the year, and I'm setting it up this week and then launching it again based on one of my dear clients, and it's based on this book. There you go. That's your sneak peek. Ask and it is given. You know who that is, and there are 22 processes there. Oh boy, so I'm setting it up. I'm really excited because these are tricks up our sleeves that we can help us get back into what? Into the vortex, into our center, into coherence, into the state where everything is possible, where everything is already there, when it's already done. It's already done. All right. Well, that's all for right now. Make sure you come, look at the calendar, join in meditation, stay afterwards, connect with one another after meditation. If you need extra support, that is what I love doing. So reach out if you'd like more one-on-one and support, or learn ways in which we can work closer. Join the challenge. Any question that you have, feel free to reach out or leave a comment. And and remember to always come back to your heart. All right, everyone, have a great week. Download that article, read it, share the good news. We are magnificent, and we're way more capable than we give ourselves credit for. All right, have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.